What's up, WWE Universe, and welcome, wrestling fans, to Tim Reynolds Show's WWE show review of Monday Night Raw from St. Louis, Missouri. Make sure you guys like and subscribe as we're going over this Raw that was kicked off with Rhea Ripley as she comes down to the center of the ring to address the crowd in the WWE Universe and call out the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan and her friend Raquel Rodriguez after Rodriguez cost Rhea Ripley a chance at getting back her Women's World Championship belt at Bad Blood. And we would see her interrupted, that is Rhea Ripley, by a surprise guest on Monday Night Raw. Miss Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton, would come out to interrupt her with a message from the Women's WWE Champion Nia Jax, as she would say, stay out of Jax's business, Ripley, otherwise you're gonna have a big problem on your hands. And Ripley would tell Tiffany to shut her mouth before we would see Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez jump and attack both Miss Money in the Bank and Rhea Ripley, laying them both down in the middle of the ring and making a huge statement as the Women's World Champion and her friend Raquel really make a statement here to kick off Monday Night Raw. And then, guys, after this, we would have our first match of the evening, and this would be for the Women's WWE Tag Team Championships. And guys, the champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill would defend their titles against the challengers and number one contenders, Damage Control. And guys, at ringside, very key, NXT Tag Team, Women's Tag Team, Miss Jackson and Lash would be at ringside, and this would come into play as both of these teams would really show off their athleticism and have a great match. But after the distraction to Bianca and Jade from the NXT Women's Tag Team there, we would see Io Sky and Damage Control take advantage. But when Io Sky got distracted as well, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill would take advantage of that to get the victory and retain their WWE Women's Tag Team Championship titles. What a match to kick off Monday Night Raw, as we'll have to see what happens with that NXT Tag Team and Damage Control and the Women's Tag Team Champions. And then, guys, after this, we would see backstage as Finn Balor of the Judgment Day and his World Tag Team Championship partner, JD McDonough, and fellow member in the Judgment Day would find General Manager Adam Pearce as Finn Balor's looking for a rematch against Damian Priest and tells Adam to make it happen right now. But Adam Pearce would push back, saying, you guys have an obligation to defend your World Tag Team titles, which you've only done once in the past month. So you know what? You guys will have to see a tag championship tournament to determine the number one contender for the World Tag Team Championships. And of course, they'd shrug their shoulders, not caring at all. But man, this is a great way to find out who's going to be the number one contenders for the World Tag titles. And then, guys, next up after this, we would see a video promo for none other than American Made, who are trying to help themselves and make themselves into one of the best factions in the WWE and Monday Night Raw, as we would see what Chad Gable has been able to do, teaming up with the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile, the Pitbull. These guys look dangerous, that's for sure, and pretty badass. After this, we'd also see a video promo of Braun Breaker explaining to us why he attacked Jey Uso last week, after the week prior they shook hands and showed a shine of respect from each other, from former champ to the new champ, really after an incredible main event title match where we see main event Jey Uso win the Intercontinental Championship. And he would explain that Jey Uso's been rolling off the coattails of his family's name for years in order for him to become champion, but Braun Breaker has not done that. He has carved his own path and made a big name for himself, and he felt disrespected by Jey Uso after he shook his hand 2 weeks ago by not saying back how much he respected him and how much of a champion he was and how much he carried that championship belt the right way. And because of that, Braun Breaker feels disrespected, and he looks to get himself back in the championship picture for the Intercontinental Championship, especially after making a huge statement from attacking Jey Uso and also his buddies Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods last week. And then, guys, next up after this, we would see an interview by General Manager Adam Pearce offset somewhere where he would be interviewing Big Bronson Reed. Now, Reed's been making a name for himself over the past few weeks, especially with the big matches that he had, but he lost the last Monster Standing match against Braun Strowman because of Seth freaking Rollins, who Reed put on the shelf, by the way. And of course, General Manager Adam Pearce would be interviewing Reed, asking, can I trust you? You have not been in control whatsoever on Monday Night Raw. Listen, listening to anything that he's asked of him, and he needs to be able to know that you're going to listen and do what General Manager Adam Pearce asked you to do, Reed. And Reed would interrupt General Manager Adam Pearce saying, look, you know the path of destruction that I've been laying as of late was a reason. I needed to get in the spotlight and I needed to make my name for myself, which I have done. So give me the match, Adam. You know you want to make it official. And of course, after that interview, guys, we would see next up after this, another match on Monday Night Raw, as we would see our first match in the #1 contender championship tournament for the World Tag Titles. And guys, we would see Alpha Academy go up against a return of a tag team to Monday Night Raw, and that would be the War Raiders. And guys, the Raiders would show off so much athleticism inside the ring, bringing war to Alpha Academy, and Otis and Tozawa never stood a chance as the War Raiders were able to get the victory in this one, and they advance in the #1 contender tournament for the World Tag Titles. And then guys, next up after this, we would see Adam Pearce already in the back locker room talking to Seth freaking Rollins. And we all know what this was going to be about after Seth says he's seen the interview there from General Manager Adam Pearce talking to Big Bronson Reed. And he knows Reed's trying to make a name for himself, and that's why he went after Seth freaking Rollins. But that was his mistake. And Seth knows that he needs to prove to everybody out there why he is who he is and why Reed went after him in the first place, because of how big of a superstar he is, because he is the main event guy on Monday Night Raw. And he's telling General Manager Adam Pearce to make sure you make this match official between him and Big Bronson Reed. What a big kind of serious interview back in the locker room there from General Manager Adam Pearce with Seth freaking Rollins. And then guys, next up after this, we would see the undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, would come out to the middle of the ring and say thank you to the St. Louis crowd, as he's got a lot of history there, but it would not be long before he was interrupted by none other than the World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General Gunther. And he actually would come out and say a lot of good things and show a lot of respect to Cody Rhodes, saying that he is been the superstar to help carry this company on its upward turn, and he is most certainly the quarterback of this company. But he would also go on to say, if he had to say one negative thing about Cody Rhodes, it would be that he's a friend to all. And he's unfortunately learning this the hard way with his former friend Kevin Owens, who Cody Rhodes is having a bit of trouble with right now. And Gunther would say that the reason that that's happening because he realizes, Kevin Owens that is, that Cody Rhodes, when he says he's a friend to all, he's really not a true friend to none. And man, what a big statement from Gunther to the WWE Undisputed Champion. And we would see Cody Rhodes slap right back, telling Gunther, well, that may be true in your opinion, but it's not to me. I'm at the beat of my own drum, and I know for a fact that you've never beat me one-on-one inside the ring at all, as these two have never faced each other in a WWE ring. But he would also go on to say that at WrestleMania, he beat this company's best champion ever, a guy who carried the company for 4 years in Roman Reigns. And then asked, what did Gunther do at WrestleMania? Not a whole lot from what he remembers. As a matter of fact, it might be some good film for Cody to be able to go back and watch before he takes on Gunther one-on-one at WWE Crown Jewel, where we will see the undisputed WWE Champion going one-on-one with the World Heavyweight Champion, and the winner will be crowned the new Crown Jewel Championship belt, 50 carats. That's going to be amazing to see at this WWE Premium live event when these two champions clash to find out who's the best of the best. And after Cody Rhodes made his statement, he would go and put his hand out to show a sign of respect to Gunther, and Gunther would come back to shake his hand as well, as Cody Rhodes said, "Good luck, champ," and he would say back, Gunther that is, that yes, I don't need luck, champ. And he would say he is gonna win the match. And man, what a statement there made from the World Heavyweight Champion after that, as Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, looks like he's got a lot on his plate right now, as he's got to get ready to go up against Gunther in just a few weeks at WWE's Crown Jewel. And then next match of the night, guys, we would see Kofi Kingston go one-on-one with none other than Braun Breaker. Now, Breaker took out and beat up Kofi Kingston last week after he came and attacked Jey Uso. And afterwards, we would see Kofi Kingston actually come back to the ring to try to help out his friend Jey Uso after Xavier Woods lost his Intercontinental Championship opportunity and chose not to shake the hand of his friend Jey Uso. And Kofi was the only one that came out to help out their friend Jey Uso in the first place. And Xavier Woods just kind of shushed away from the handshake, didn't show Jey Uso any sign of respect, and also didn't try to come help him out in the ring, which Kofi kind of confronted him about last week after Monday Night Raw. But it would not be long as we would see Bron Breakker get the victory in this match after an amazing back and forth from both of these competitors. But after the match, Bron Breakker would look to make a statement attacking Kofi Kingston, but we would see the New Day get some help from his New Day friend Xavier Woods. By the surprise that some people in the WWE universe, he would come out and help Kofi Kingston and have his back. But guess what? Breakker didn't care. He would attack Xavier Woods as well and beat up both of these guys in the middle of the ring before main event. Jey Uso would come out to try to help his friends, and he would deliver a huge statement with not only one super kick and then a spear, but another super kick as Jey Uso hits two of those super kicks and a spear and makes a huge statement on Big Bron Breakker after he came and attacked him last week. And not only that, Jey Uso also showed that, hey, if you're my friend, I'm going to help you and have your back, as he came and helped out not only Kofi Kingston, but also Xavier Woods. And man, does Woods look like a fool now after the stunt and the disrespect he pulled the week before on main event Jey Uso. And then next up after this, guys, we would see backstage Rhea Ripley getting ready for her match in the main event of Monday Night Raw. And then we would see Damian Priest come in to try to make sure she's ready and ask if she needs him to come out there to have her back and help her out and give her some backup. But Rhea Ripley would deny this backup, saying she's going to go handle things her own way and let Tiffy stand there on the sidelines. But she would bring up what Damian Priest is going to do going forward, as she believes that he needs to leave Judgment Day behind him and focus on getting back into the World Heavyweight Championship picture. But we would also see Damian Priest respond by saying, well, you have a problem with the Judgment Day, and as long as you do, I do as well. But it is time for me to get back to old Capione, as he expects to get back in the World Heavyweight Championship picture very soon. And then, guys, next up after this, we would see Jey Uso try to go back to his locker room after what had transpired just earlier, and Jimmy Uso would be sitting and waiting for him in the locker room, and Jey would not like this as he turns around and walks away immediately, which would lead to Jimmy Uso having to go walk and try to find him, looking around for him, searching and trying to get his help. And when he found him, he would try to ask for it, saying, hey, Us, let me talk to you real quick. But Jey Uso would want nothing to do with him, saying no and to get the hell out of my face. And man, it looks like Jimmy Uso is trying to help recruit some help for him in the OTC Roman Reigns for Friday nights after what's been going on and transpiring for them the past few weeks. Man, tough, tense situation right now for the Uso family. And then next up after this, guys, we would see our next match of the night, where it would be The Miz going one-on-one with his former friend, R-Truth, after last week The Miz betrayed his tag team partner, the former WWE tag team, or the World Tag Team Champions, I should say. Man, what a betrayal from The Miz, but we all kind of seen this coming, right? But it wouldn't be long before Karrion Kross in the Final Testament would come out to kind of like, I guess, have The Miz's back in this particular match, but R-Truth would take advantage of a distraction there from The Miz there with Karrion Kross in the Final Testament and roll up The Miz and get the victory, to everyone's surprise, as R-Truth gets the upset. But of course, as he goes to walk away, the Final Testament would grab him and beat him up and throw him back in the ring, as The Miz gets the last laugh in this one. And he's able to deliver a scroll-crushing finale on top of R-Truth. But guys, we would see during this match and what we've seen the last couple of weeks on Monday Night Raw, when The Miz has been talking to Karrion Kross, it looks like the Wyatt Six is sending signals and messages to possibly go after The Miz, or maybe a Karrion Kross in the Final Testament. I don't know, guys. It was very weird seeing it on the screen as the Wyatt Six are sending signals, glitching out the computer and the technology, and man, we'll have to wait and find out what's gonna happen. But I know the Wyatt Six is involved in this some way, with either The Miz and Karrion Kross in the Final Testament, or both. It's gonna be interesting to see, guys. And then next up after this, guys, would be our main event of the evening, as we would see Rhea Ripley teaming up with an unlikely teammate, and that would be Miss Money in the Bank Tiffany Stratton, as they go one-on-one in a tag team match, or I should say team on team, where Liv Morgan, the women's world champion, and her friend Raquel Rodriguez would go up against them in this tag team match. And an incredible match we would see in this main event. Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Raquel pulling out all the stops. But guess what? It would be the WWE's women champion who would have the last laugh, as Nia Jax would show up and disqualify this whole match, laying everybody out, leaving Raquel Rodriguez outside of the ring, laid out and attacked. Then she would go inside of the ring and beat up Rhea Ripley, and then she would also just destroy Liv Morgan, as she makes a huge statement to the women's world champion before they meet and go one-on-one at WWE's Crown Jewel, as the women's world champion Liv Morgan will go one-on-one with the WWE women's champion Nia Jax, as it's champion versus champion to find out who's the best of the best, and the winner will become the Crown Jewel champion and win the Crown Jewel championship belt, 50 carats, man. Wow, what amazing statement here by Nia Jax in this one. And we would see after that, it looked like Tiffany Stratton was going to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase, but looked like Dirty Dom would come to the rescue, saving Liv Morgan at the last second, and man, Tiffany Stratton would not get the cash in. But guys, that has been your WWE show review on Tim Reynolds Show of Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you did, I appreciate, respect you, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Tim Reynolds Show, and thank you for checking out this WWE show review. Make sure you check the next one, as I'm doing this for every Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown right here on the channel for you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave some comments to let me know what you guys think of the show, man. Really appreciate you guys following and subscribing. Thank you so much for following me along on this journey on my sports entertainment YouTube channel right here on Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much. Peace out, everybody.